Good morning. So today's class we are going to discuss about window management and TCP. Okay. So what is a window and how it can be managed according to TCP? So according to window, a window is nothing but a maximum amount of data that can be transferred to the destination before it receives an acknowledgement. Okay. Before it is receiving an acknowledgement, the sender is sending a data, and that is a data which is a maximum amount of data that is called as a window. Okay. Window is nothing but, as I said, is a maximum amount of data that can be sent to the destination. So after that, window is a means of data flow control. So what is this window used for? Windowing is used for managing the data flow. Okay. Window is using for windowing mechanism, or window management is used for managing the data flow. So next one, a sequence number and acknowledgement messages are used in windowing. So in this window management mechanism, sequence number are important for us along with acknowledgements. And one more thing here, the window size is expressed in bytes. Okay, expressed in bytes. So what is the first main aim of window management? So when you discuss about window management, so as I told you, that is window is a capable, or window is one kind of a space where a unit data can be used here. So according to window management, okay. So let us say that there is a sender, there is a receiver. So sender's window is this one and receiver's window is this one. So when a sender is sending the data, you see the capacity of the sender's window is more than receiver's window. Yes or no? So to manage these things, so what happens if we are sending huge amount of data, but the capacity which is needed by the receiver is not available? So what happens? The data may be lost or overflow of data will be there. So to manage such kind of a thing, the receiver must, what the receiver can do here. So the concept behind window management is sender is sending huge amount of data, but receiver is not able to accept that huge amount of data because if it's less capacity to hold the data. Okay. So what the receiver can do now? Receiver's job is to advertise, or advertising is nothing but informing the sender that I have the capacity this much only. So what is the capacity of the receiver? It has to advertise to the senders so that they can send the data according to that one. So that is what maintained here. So sender and receiver has windows. Okay. Both sender and receiver will have window. Window is nothing but maximum amount of data that can be received by the receiver or sent by the sender. So both will have windows. So let us say that sender for sending window is there and receiving window is there for sender. Similarly, receiver will have receiving window as well as sending window is also there. Okay. So totally how many windows are there? 4 windows. Sender will have 2 windows, receiver will have 2 windows. So sender window and receiver window. Similarly, receiver will have receiver window as well as sender window. So it has to send acknowledgements also. So sender window is also there. So totally 4 windows are there. So when we are discussing about unidirectional window or unidirectional communication. So what happens? There will be A, B nodes are there. So if it is a sender, if it is a receiver, so only one-way communication is there. So only one window is available. So there is no communication from the B side. Okay. So let me share the PPT. Okay. What we are discussing here, that is window is nothing but the maximum amount of data that can be sent before an acknowledgement is received. Okay. Before an acknowledgement is received. And what are important for us here? Sequence number and acknowledgement messages are important for us for maintaining windows. And one more thing, windows sizes are expressed in number of bytes. Okay. So next one. Okay, you observe here in this, just now I told you there will be a sender, and a receiver. So sender will have sending window and receiver will have a receiving window. Sorry, sender also has receiving window. Similarly, receiver will have receiving window along with the sending window. So 4 windows are available for us communication to establish. So you observe this diagram. So just now I told you that the receiver here, this is a receiver and this is a sender. So receiver has to inform the sender that what is the capacity of the receiver, that is B. So B is a receiver. B has to mention to the sender A that I have capacity to hold 2 windows. So it has to send a message to the sender that I have capacity of 2 windows to store. So what happens here? The sender will know the window status of it, of a receiver. Then it will send 2 messages, that is 1 and 2 windows. It will say, send the segments, 2 segments of data. And after that, before an acknowledgement received, it has to send the data. So what is happening here? The capacity is known. So capacity, according to the capacity, the sender is sending 2 segments. Now B will be sending a acknowledgement that it has received the 2 segments, 1 and 2 segments. Okay, B received that, and it has to send as an acknowledgement message that I have received and consumed data. Now it is open to send. Okay. Now it is ready to open because it has consumed the data. So it is free again. It is allowed to take 2 more windows now. So the acknowledgement message is saying here, you observe here, there is a number called as 3. So what is this 3 denoting? 3 denoting is nothing but whatever segments are sent by the sender will start from the number 3 because it has sent already 1 and 2. So the next expected segment number will be 3. Starting from 3, how many windows it can send? 2 windows. So 3 and 4 will be sent again. So B will be consuming. The receiver will consume the 3 and 4. Okay. So next comes, so according to this window, you observe here. So you observe here one more point. It is window size can be increased or decreased dynamically. What do you mean by this? Window size can be increased or decreased. You observe here. Window size can be increased or decreased dynamically. How it can be done? See, before we get into those details, let us brief it out once again. That is, if a connection is established from a sender to a receiver, okay, so the receiver has to mention its status, that what is the capacity to which extent I can receive the data. So the receiver is sending information B that I have a capacity of 2 windows to store the information. 2 windows is nothing but amount of data that is being sent. So A will send 2 segments 1 and 2 to the B, and the receiver will consume it. Okay, receiver will be consuming it, and it is free. Now it is free. So after consuming it, now it is open for accepting some more data. So to denote that, the B will send. B is the receiver here. Receiver will be sending information in the form of acknowledgement message stating that 3 as a digit number here. So after seeing this acknowledgement message by sender, so the sender is ready to send the messages, that is segments numbers, starting from the number 3. So 3 and 4. So the 3 denotes here the next upcoming packet number or the segment number which is being sent. Okay. And next important point, I told you that window size can be increased or decreased dynamically. So let me show you here in this diagram. So this is another example. In this example, sender A is there, receiver B is there. So B is saying to A that I have a capacity of 1 window to accept. So immediately A sent a message, segment number, that is 1, in the form of segments. So 1 has been sent and it is consumed here. While sending an acknowledgement message by the receiver B, you observe here there is a message called as ACK equals to 2, and you observe here window equals to 2. So what do you mean by this? Initially the size of the window which is mentioned by B is 1, and it is dynamically changing its size, window size, to 2, and the acknowledgement is sent by the receiver saying that ACK is 2, that is it has to start from 2. So window size is 2, so immediately the sender A is aware of this message, and it started sending the segment number starting from 2, 3. So how many 2 windows has been sent of messages has been sent to the receiver. So this is how a dynamically a windows can be changed, window size can be changed. So let us summarize all the details which we discussed here after connection establishment is over. So what we discussed here, window is nothing but a maximum amount of data that can be sent before an acknowledgement is received. Window is used, or windowing mechanism is used to control the data flow. Okay, to control the data flow. And one more thing, the sequence numbers as well as acknowledgement messages are used in windowing mechanism. Along with that, window sizes, the size of the window is expressed in terms of bytes. Let us see one more example in coming slides. So, and one more thing here, window size is dynamic in nature. So we can increase the size at runtime also. Okay. One second. Okay. Okay. So next topic we are going to discuss is congestion. What is the topic? Congestion. Congestion. Congestion can be a data traffic. Okay. So what does you mean by the congestion? So congestion is nothing but one kind of a traffic, an ambiguity traffic that has happened on the network. That is, the load of the network has been increased without any proper control of the flow of data. Okay? If you are not controlling the data flow properly, then the congestion can happen. So how this congestion can be formed? Okay? Congestion in a network may occurs due to load on the network. Load on the network. So what do you mean by this load? Try to understand this load. Load is nothing but if we send the data packets, or if we send the packets, okay, if we send the packets to the network, okay, if we are sending the packets which are greater than the network capacity, greater than the network capacity. So what happens? The load will be increasing, the congestion can happen. Okay. And this is congestion. So this is talking about the congestion.
स्कूल के बाद सिर्फ बायजूस क्लासेस डाउनलोड द बायजूस ऐप नाउ बायजूस क्लासेस है तो प्रोग्रेस है
This is about congestion. What is congestion? Once again, I am repeating. Congestion is nothing but it may occur due to the load which is kept on the network. If we are sending the data which is more than what we are expected, so the network will be having or receiving the data beyond its limit. So the congestion may happen. So next, what we have to do, we need to control this one. So what is that? Congestion control mechanisms. So we have to go for congestion control. So what does it do? So what do you mean by congestion control? It is a mechanism. Okay, it is a mechanism or technique, mechanisms and techniques. Okay, it is a mechanism or techniques to control the congestion. Control the congestion. So that so that load can be so that the load below the capacity. Okay, it is not beyond the capacity, it should be below the capacity so that it can receive the data. So next we will see what are the possibilities where congestion can happen. Okay, so what are the possibilities of congestion? So first one, slow network or slow processor. So what is happening here? If I send a message, if I send a packet to the receiving, this is a sender, receiver. So receiver, processor, there is a sender. The sender is sending a packet. So what happens here is, if it is using a slow network, due to its slow nature, that packet travels very slowly, okay, very slowly, until it reaches the destination. One more packet has been sent by it, the sender. So like this, all the packets will be in line, in queue nature will be formed. So what happens? The capacity of this network will be low to handle such kind of slow nature of the networks. Okay. So, and the slow processor, this is the first case, and this second case, slow processor is nothing but the receiver is processing the packets very slowly at the destination level. So what happens if it is processing the packets at slowly? So what happens? The next packet which is arrived, it has to wait on the network itself. So what happens? The load will be increasing, keep on increasing while the first packet is being processed by this receiver. So slow processor and slow network will cause the congestion. And next one, in the second case, the second case is two or more nodes. Two or more nodes are requesting for same network, requesting for the same resource. Let us say that there will be a router, there will be a destination here. Okay, this is router, and the router is connected with some sources, S1, S2, S3. These are nodes. So what does it happens here is, two or more nodes requesting or sending the data to the same destination at once. Okay, all of them. S1 is sending data, S2 is sending data, S3 is sending data. So the router has to maintain it. As on the router will be finding out the destination line is busy with huge amount of data which is received by the router. So it may also cause the congestion. So the congestion control mechanism is there. So it is a mechanism or a technique. Okay, what is that? Congestion control is the solution for us, as I told you. So it is a mechanism or technique. Technique. Mechanism or technique that is used to control the data, that is used to control the congestion. So they are or they can be, the congestion can be controlled in two ways. Okay, congestion can be controlled in two ways. First one is open loop. Okay, open loop congestion control. Congestion control. Second one, closed loop congestion control. Okay, what are the two mechanisms that are used here? Mechanisms and techniques. One is open loop congestion control. Second one is closed loop control. Let me show you the diagram. Open loop and closed loop. So under open loop, there are different types of policies are available for us under this. Retransmission policy is there. Okay. And there is a window policy. The next one is acknowledgement policy. Next comes discarding policy. Next comes admission policy. So all of them belongs to the open loop. Okay, open loop congestion control and closed loop control. So what are the closed loop things? First one is back pressure choke policy, choke packet, sorry. Next comes implicit signaling and explicit signaling. So these are the policies or the techniques or the mechanisms which are used in congestion control mechanisms. So open loop control mechanism is there, and there is a closed loop is there. So what is this open loop congestion control mechanism is talking about? So open loop congestion control mechanism is one kind of a mechanism, and the policies which are part of this open loop congestion control mechanisms are applied before a congestion can happen. Okay, before congestion is happening, the preventing, these policies are used in preventing congestion to happen. Okay, before congestion has happened, these are the preventing policies that are used the congestion to not to happen. So what is a closed loop? Closed loop is that nothing but these are the policies which are applied after congestion has been happened. Okay. Okay. These are, so open loop is talking about preventive mechanisms. That is, before congestion is happened, we are trying to avoid that one. Closed loop is nothing but congestion is happened, then we have to take some measures what we can do with that one. Okay. So next one, let us see the open loop and closed loop. Different policies are there. Under open loop, first one is retransmission. You also know that what is retransmission. If a sender is sending a packet, if he feels that the sender feels that the packet has been lost or corrupted, then the packet has to be retransmitted once again. And retransmitting of so what happens? Retransmitting of the packet which has been lost has to be retransmitted again. So if you are using a proper retransmission policy, then after retransmission also the congestion may happen. So what we have to do, a proper and a very good retransmission policy has to be adapted so that the congestion can be avoided. Next one, window policy. So according to the window policy, senders so it is based on the timing capacity. It is based on the window policy is based on the timing. If a packet is not received in time, so what happens? It has to reset again. We have to reset and send again. So that is what happens with the window policy. And next one is acknowledgement policy. So acknowledgement policy is nothing but if a receiver is not sending the acknowledgement, so what happens? The sender is waiting for the acknowledgement and the load will be increased until the waiting period is there and the packets are ready with the sender. The network is ready with the sender's packets. So acknowledgement policy is also there. So a proper acknowledgement policy has to be maintained so that we can avoid the congestion. So next one is discarding policy. So next one is discarding policy. So a proper discarding policy has to be maintained by the routers. So the routers are responsible for handling those packets. If the packets received at the routers are correct, then it will send to the particular destination on the network. Then it will be discarding that packets from the routers. Okay. So this is all for today. In the next class, we are going to see some more congestion control policies. Until then, thank you.